The proper study of apes is apes.
The original Planet of the Apes movie was a massive critical and commercial success, with a cultural impact still being felt today. Even people who have not seen it are familiar with its iconic final scene. But I bet you didn't know that after the original, there have been 9 movies made under the Planet of the Apes title. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen most of the sequels to the original. From what I understand, the quality fades until they become quite ridiculous. I do remember the Marky Mark version from 2001, but less said about that the better. So, the entire series was rebooted in 2011 with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, another commercial and critical success. And this one spawned a trilogy with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes, which were also very successful. Now, War gave us a nice ending of the trilogy, pretty much a definitive closing, so I figured, well, that was it. Job well done, boys. But not so fast. This is Hollywood, however, and because new ideas are next to impossible, it was announced that there would be a 4th movie in this universe, and that movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, was released this past weekend. So, what do we have here? Is this another success like the original or the recent trilogy? Or is this more like the '01 version or the sequels to the original? Dull, uninspiring cash grabs. Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the movie Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Let's talk.
So it's 300 years after the events of War of the Planet of the Apes. Now, we find that the apes have evolved and they can communicate with each other. Many generations after Caesar's death, we've also found that the apes have established numerous clans and tribes, while the humans have become quite feral. Noah, a chimpanzee of a falconry ape clan led by his father Korah, prepares for a coming-of-age ceremony by collecting eagle eggs with his friends Anya and Sona. However, a human scavenger follows Noah home and inadvertently cracks his egg during a scuffle. While searching for a replacement, Noah encounters a group of warrior apes who are raiders. He tries to hide from them, but they find his horse, they follow it to his clan, and they burn his village to the ground. Here we learn that although all apes revere Caesar, they all interpret his words differently. While Noah's tribe is peaceful, the others, led by Proximus Caesar, are warlike and violent. He is actually hunting the human scavenger, whose name is Nova. His goal is to have her assist him with entering an old bunker, which he is convinced is full of advanced technology from the old world that will help him in his quest to conquer the new world. I will say that he's not wrong in this, as Nova actually has the ability to speak and understands many things and seems to be very familiar with this bunker. She's more intelligent than most humans in this world, and as the story evolves, we find that she has agendas of her own. And caught in the middle of this is Noah and his tribe. And now Noah begins a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike.
You damn dirty ape!
So let's start with what I like about this film. Let's talk about the special effects and CGI. Now, recently we've seen some really poor CGI over the past couple years especially. Look at some recent Marvel or Disney releases to see how bad they are. But here you can see this was done by people at the height of their ability. The world looks real. The apes look real. They look like they're talking. Their movements are fluid. Also, hats off to the voice actors, who do a great job of bringing the apes to life. The combination of fantastic special effects and excellent in the voice acting really helped the realism of the film. I also enjoyed some of the themes of this movie. I'm not sure if it was going for this, but I can definitely see a parallel to religion, in that you have a savior-like figure whose words and actions are interpreted vastly differently by the people who come along hundreds of years after. Noah's people see Caesar as a peace-loving figure who only wants to coexist with others as equals, while Proximus sees Caesar as the one who sets the groundwork for apes to control everything. These themes play out naturally throughout the film without giving away to any heavy-handedness or any heavy messaging one way or the other. Now, what I didn't like about this film is that while it does look great, and there are definitely interesting ideas knocking around, it's a bit of a slog because Noah and Nova, they're good characters, but they're not very exciting or very complicated. And while Nova is a well-acted character, she doesn't exactly get great written dialogue, and her entire character seems to be a device to set up potential sequels to this film. And if you've watched my videos in the past, my two biggest complaints about modern filmmaking is poor writing and poor editing. Now, the writing here is fine, but please, for the love of God and all that is holy, stop making movies that only have to be an hour and 45 minutes long, but wind up being 2.5 hours long. While I think many Hollywood writers need to go back to writing school, I think Hollywood editors need to go back to editing school.
Go back to school.
So, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a satisfactory movie. It may not be your typical summer blockbuster, but I think it stands as a respectable addition to the Apes franchise. It offers a pretty good blend of action, drama, emotion, suspense, and thrill. However, it's a bit too long, and with a cliffhanger ending, it's not a standalone film. So if it flops and we don't get others in the series, it's kind of pointless. If you're a fan of the franchise, you'll probably enjoy it. I would suggest seeing it in the theaters for two reasons. One, to enjoy the visual effects, but also, especially if you're a fan and you want more, this movie has to make money. If it doesn't make money, they won't make another one. So it's not as good as the original, and I would definitely rank it as fourth of the 4 modern day films. It succeeds to an extent, and it's a far superior film than the original sequels or the disaster that was the Marky Mark 2001 movie.
I hate every ape I see.
Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week while I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a question. Share this video with friends and enemies alike. And as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.